From a clinical perspective, the concept of a multi-day, water-only fast, such as one spanning 7 days, represents a profound metabolic stressor and a significant area of research. While the practice is gaining popular traction for its purported transformative benefits, it is imperative to analyze the precise physiological cascade that occurs when the human body is deprived of exogenous energy sources. In the initial 6 to 12 hours post-meal, the body operates within its normal fed state, utilizing circulating blood glucose to meet immediate energy demands. Following this, it enters the glycogenolytic phase, tapping into its short-term reserves, glycogen stored within the liver, and, to a lesser extent, skeletal muscle. This hepatic glycogen reserve functions as the body's primary glucose buffer, ensuring a steady supply of fuel, particularly for the brain, which is heavily glucose-dependent in this state. However, these stores are finite. As the clock advances toward the 24-hour mark, hepatic glycogen is largely depleted. The body now faces a critical metabolic juncture. It must shift its entire fuel economy. This transition is orchestrated by a dramatic hormonal shift. The most critical change is a precipitous drop in serum insulin levels, a direct consequence of absent carbohydrate intake. This low insulin environment signals the end of the storage phase and permits counter-regulatory hormones, primarily glucagon, epinephrine, and norepinephrine, to rise. This new hormonal milieu initiates two vital processes: gluconeogenesis, the creation of new glucose, primarily in the liver, from non-carbohydrate, precursors like amino acids, and, crucially, lipolysis, the breakdown of stored triglycerides in adipose tissue. Fatty acids are released into circulation to be used as fuel by most tissues. Subjectively, this initial 24 to 48-hour period is often the most physiologically demanding. Patients frequently report intense hunger, driven by the hormone ghrelin, cognitive fog, fatigue, and headaches. Paradoxically, some also report a state of heightened alertness or even mild euphoria. This is not imagined. It is the direct neurochemical effect of the rising catecholamines, norepinephrine, an evolutionary survival mechanism designed to sharpen focus for a hunt during perceived famine. By the time the second day commences, a significant shift occurs. The acute, often volatile sensations of hunger frequently begin to subside. This is indicative of a deeper adaptation. The liver has significantly ramped up the production of ketone bodies, beta-hydroxybutyrate, and acetoacetate from fatty acids. The body is entering a state of nutritional ketosis. These ketone bodies are a remarkable evolutionary adaptation. They are water-soluble molecules that can cross the blood-brain barrier, providing the brain with a potent and stable alternative fuel source. This is why the initial brain fog often clears, replaced by a calm, sustained focus. Unlike the energetic peaks and valleys associated with glucose metabolism, ketones provide a steady neural energy supply. This metabolic flexibility, the ability to keep the brain functioning at a high level despite a lack of food, was essential for human survival. This state is further stabilized by changes in neurotransmitter regulation, such as serotonin and dopamine, which may contribute to the reported sense of peace or mental clarity. The body has now moved beyond the initial crisis and is stabilizing into a new, fat-driven metabolic reality. As we approach the 48-hour mark, the body initiates one of the most profound and researched benefits of prolonged fasting: autophagy. This term, derived from Greek meaning self-eating, was the subject of the 2016 Nobel Prize in Medicine, awarded to Yoshinori Ohsumi. Autophagy is a cellular quality control mechanism, a highly regulated process where cells identify, break down, and recycle old, damaged, or dysfunctional components. This includes misfolded proteins, aggregated proteins like those implicated in neurodegenerative diseases, and damaged mitochondria. In a state of nutrient deprivation, the body activates this internal housekeeping to eliminate waste and generate new molecular building blocks and fuel. This process is fundamental to cellular health and is linked in research to enhance longevity and a potential reduction in risk factors for numerous age-related diseases, including Alzheimer's, Parkinson's, and certain types of cancer. However, this catabolic state must be respected. While autophagy targets dysfunctional components first, an excessively prolonged fast without adequate metabolic reserves can eventually lead to the breakdown of healthy, functional tissue, including muscle. By the third day, the body's metabolic adaptation becomes fully entrenched. Recognizing a sustained absence of food, it enters a state of profound energy conservation. Basal metabolic rate may decrease slightly, heart rate can slow, and core body temperature may drop. The system is prioritizing efficiency. Ketones are now the dominant fuel source for the brain, and the liver is in full-scale production. The digestive tract is in a state of complete rest, allowing for the potential repair of the gut lining. Concurrently, fascinating changes occur in the immune system. Studies suggest that in this fasted state, the body becomes more resilient to inflammation and oxidative stress. There is evidence of white blood cell regeneration and a culling of older, less effective immune cells, potentially leading to a more robust immune response post-fast. While the body is under stress, it is in adaptive stress, hormesis, teaching it to heal and strengthen itself. This period, from day 3 onward, is often where individuals report a significant subjective shift. The acute fatigue and hunger of the initial days often dissipate, replaced by a notable sense of mental clarity and sustained energy. This is a direct result of stabilized, low insulin levels, which facilitates continuous, efficient fat breakdown, and the brain's full adaptation to ketones, which are a neuroprotective fuel source. Despite this fasting high, this stage is not without its physiological challenges. Dizziness upon standing, orthostatic hypotension, mild headaches, or sleep disturbances can occur as the body recalibrates its hormonal and neurotransmitter systems. Hydration and electrolyte balance become non-negotiable. The body is losing sodium, potassium, and magnesium, which are critical for neuromuscular function and cardiac rhythm. Without their careful replenishment, even the most resilient individual can falter. On day 4, many individuals report a surprising surge of energy. This is the payoff of metabolic flexibility. The body is no longer dependent on intermittent glucose feedings. It has become a highly efficient fat-burning engine. Mitochondria, the cellular power plants, adapt to become more effective at oxidizing fatty acids. This state is what some term metabolic freedom, the ability to source energy cleanly and efficiently from one's own reserves. This sensation, however, can mask the critical need for mineral balance. The big 3 electrolytes, sodium, potassium, and magnesium, are not just suggestions. They are vital for maintaining the electrical potential of every cell, particularly cardiac cells. Imbalances can lead to severe fatigue, muscle cramps, or dangerous heart palpitations. This brings us to one of the most celebrated aspects of a prolonged fast, the change in brain chemistry. As ketones dominate, the brain's environment shifts. Research, primarily in animal models, has shown that fasting significantly boosts the production of brain-derived neurotrophic factor, BDNF. BDNF is a critical protein that acts like a fertilizer for the brain, supporting the survival of existing neurons, promoting the growth of new ones, neurogenesis, and fostering new neural connections, synaptic plasticity. This is directly linked to enhanced learning, memory, and cognitive function. This biological phenomenon likely underpins the subjective reports of mental flow, where distractions fade and focus deepens. From an evolutionary standpoint, this adaptation is logical. A hungry human needed to be more alert and cognitively sharp to successfully hunt or forage. However, a 7-day fast carries significant risks that must be addressed. While the body is remarkably adaptive, pushing it to this limit can lead to severe complications. If electrolyte and hydration protocols are not strictly followed, the risk of arrhythmia becomes substantial. Furthermore, when glycogen and readily available fat stores are depleted, the body will turn to muscle tissue for gluconeogenesis, breaking down vital protein to create glucose. This catabolism can weaken the heart and impair organ function. Medical supervision for any fast exceeding 72 hours is strongly recommended. But perhaps the single greatest danger of a prolonged fast is not the fast itself, but the refeeding process. After 7 days, the digestive system is dormant. Digestive enzymes are minimal, and the gut lining is highly sensitive. Eating too much, or the wrong foods, too quickly can trigger refeeding syndrome. This is a medical emergency. The sudden influx of carbohydrates causes a massive insulin spike, driving phosphate, potassium, and magnesium from the bloodstream into cells at a dangerous rate. This can lead to cardiac arrest, respiratory failure, or death. Breaking a fast must be done with extreme care, starting with small, easily digestible portions, like bone broth or steamed vegetables, and gradually over several days, reintroducing other foods. By day 7, for those who have navigated the fast safely, the body is in a state of peak adaptation. Fat-burning efficiency is maximized. Inflammatory markers are often at their lowest, and autophagy has been running for days. Subjectively, many report a profound sense of peace and clarity. Biologically, stem cells are believed to be activated, preparing to regenerate and repair tissues, including the immune system. Modern research from institutions like USC, Harvard, and Stanford continues to validate these ancient practices. Studies show periodic, prolonged fasting can trigger cellular regeneration, reduce oxidative stress, and activate longevity-associated genes, mimicking some of the effects of caloric restriction. It has shown promise in improving insulin sensitivity and even mitigating the side effects of chemotherapy by protecting healthy cells. In conclusion, a 7-day fast is not a detox or a simple weight loss hack. It is a profound biological journey. It demonstrates the body's incredible, evolutionarily honed resilience and capacity for self-repair. The goal is not merely endurance. It is a lesson in metabolic flexibility and a powerful reminder of the body's innate intelligence. It is a tool that, when used with extreme caution, preparation, and respect for its inherent risks, can reveal the remarkable strength encoded within our own biology. This profound journey into the body's adaptive mechanisms, however, is not a destination in itself. It is a laboratory. The extreme 7-day fast serves as a powerful biological magnifying glass, revealing fundamental truths about our health that are directly applicable to our daily lives. The ultimate goal is not to endure prolonged starvation, but to extract these principles and integrate them into a sustainable framework for lifelong health and disease prevention. What, then, are the actionable, evidence-based lessons we can draw from this extreme physiological challenge? Lesson 1. The keystone of health is metabolic flexibility. The most immediate lesson from a prolonged fast is the demonstration of metabolic flexibility. This is the body's innate ability to efficiently switch between fuel sources, primarily burning glucose from carbohydrates when it's available, and seamlessly transitioning to burning fat via ketones when it's not. The 7-day fast is the ultimate test of this flexibility. The struggle of the first 48 hours, the fatigue, brain fog, and intense hunger, is the sign of a system resisting this switch. This is the state in which most of the modern population lives. Metabolically inflexible. A diet high in processed carbohydrates and frequent eating, e.g. 3 meals plus snacks, keeps insulin levels chronically elevated. This effectively locks fat inside our adipose tissue, as high insulin signals store, not burn. The body forgets how to access its own fat reserves. The result? We become dependent on a constant drip of glucose. We experience energy crashes, intense cravings, and the hungry plus angry feeling if a meal is delayed. The clinical takeaway: you do not need to fast for 7 days to build this flexibility. The goal is to retrain your body. This can be achieved through more moderate, sustainable practices. Nutritional ketosis, periodically reducing carbohydrate intake to force the body to produce and utilize ketones. Intermittent fasting, IF, creating shorter, more frequent windows of fasting, such as the 16-to-8 protocol, fasting for 16 hours and eating within an 8-hour window. This simple act forces the body to deplete glycogen and begin to ask for fat. Fasted exercise, performing low to moderate intensity exercise in a fasted state, which accelerates the depletion of glycogen and trains muscle mitochondria to become more efficient at fat oxidation. A metabolically flexible person has stable energy, better cognitive function, and is no longer a slave to meal timing. They have, in essence, achieved energy independence. Lesson 2. Insulin is the master hormone, and silence is golden. The 7-day fast is, at its core, a 7-day vacation from insulin. Nearly every benefit observed, from fat burning to autophagy to reduced inflammation, stems from one primary event: the significant and sustained drop in serum insulin. In modern society, we suffer from chronic hyperinsulinemia, chronically high insulin. This state is the precursor to insulin resistance, which sits at the root of the metabolic syndrome cluster. Type 2 diabetes, central obesity, hypertension, and dyslipidemia. We are overfed but undernourished, and our hormonal system is drowning in a constant signal to store. The clinical takeaway: the lesson is not that insulin is bad, it's a vital anabolic hormone. The lesson is that insulin silence is essential for repair. Our bodies were not designed for a 24/7 influx of food. They were designed to cycle between states of fed, anabolism, growth, and fasted, catabolism, repair. By simply compressing our eating window, even to 10 or 12 hours, we introduce a daily period of low insulin. This daily mini-fast allows the body to exit storage mode and enter repair mode. It is the single most powerful, non-pharmacological lever we can pull to restore insulin sensitivity and halt the progression toward metabolic disease. Lesson 3. Autophagy is your built-in janitorial service. Perhaps the most exciting finding from fasting research is the activation of autophagy. The 7-day fast induces this process profoundly, allowing the body to conduct a deep cellular housekeeping, clearing out dysfunctional proteins and damaged mitochondria. This is cellular renewal at its most basic level. Waiting for a 7-day fast to run this program is like waiting 7 years to clean your house. It will be a massive undertaking. The logical conclusion is that this process should be activated more frequently. The clinical takeaway: while a multi-day fast is a powerful reset, significant autophagy is initiated in shorter timeframes. Research suggests the process begins to ramp up after 16 to 18 hours of fasting and increases exponentially from there. Practical application: incorporating a weekly 24-hour fast or even a consistent daily 18-hour fast can trigger regular, low-level autophagy. This clean-as-you-go approach prevents the accumulation of cellular debris that contributes to aging and neurodegenerative diseases. Autophagy mimetics. We can also support this process through other lifestyle factors. High-intensity interval training, HIIT, and resistance training induce autophagy in muscle tissue. Furthermore, certain phytonutrients found in foods like coffee, polyphenols, green tea, EGCG, and cruciferous vegetables, sulforaphane, are known to support these same cellular cleanup pathways. Lesson 4. Hunger is a signal, not an emergency. The 7-day fast teaches a profound psychological lesson. On day 2, hunger can feel like an emergency. By day 4, it's often a distant, manageable sensation. This demonstrates that hunger is not a linear measure of the body's need for food. Hunger is largely regulated by the hormone ghrelin. Ghrelin is released in a circadian pattern, meaning it peaks at your usual mealtimes, regardless of your true energy status. This is why you feel starving at noon, even if you had a large breakfast. The fast teaches you that this signal is a wave. If you simply hydrate and wait, it will pass. Furthermore, the fast proves that mental clarity can increase in the absence of food. The ketones in BDNF, brain-derived neurotrophic factor, that are upregulated during a fast actively support neural health and cognitive sharpness. The clinical takeaway: we must decouple the sensation of hunger from the panic of starvation. By practicing intermittent fasting, you can train your body and mind to recognize ghrelin's waves. You learn to differentiate true physiological need from hormonal habit. This liberation from the must-eat now impulse provides immense mental freedom and stops the cycle of reactive, emotional eating. The lesson is, trust your body, it has a backup plan. Lesson 5. The danger of refeeding and the wisdom of gentle nutrition. The most acute, life-threatening danger of the 7-day fast is refeeding syndrome. This medical emergency is a stark reminder that how you end a fast is just as important as the fast itself. The body in its depleted state cannot handle a sudden metabolic shock. The clinical takeaway. This extreme example provides a universal lesson for our daily lives. We should always treat our digestive systems with respect. After any period of rest, even just an overnight 12-hour fast, the first meal matters. The break fast principle. Your first meal of the day should be gentle, nutrient-dense, and prioritize protein and healthy fats over a massive influx of processed carbohydrates. Starting the day with a high-sugar, high-carb meal is a form of mini refeeding shock. It spikes insulin, causes a reactive energy crash, and sets you up for a day of cravings. Gut health. The 7-day fast provides a total reset for the gut. When reintroducing food, one has a unique opportunity to rebuild the microbiome. This highlights the importance of repopulating the gut with fermented foods like kefir, sauerkraut, and feeding it with prebiotic fiber from vegetables to establish a healthy, resilient gut-brain axis. The 7-day fast is a profound physiological intervention. It is a biological force, quit and reboot. It is a tool of immense power, and like any such tool, it carries significant risks and is absolutely not appropriate for everyone. Individuals with pre-existing conditions, those who are pregnant, or those with a history of eating disorders should never attempt it without strict medical supervision. For the rest of us, the 7-day fast should not be viewed as a goal, but as a textbook. We have read the textbook, and now we must apply the lessons. The true path to health is not found in extreme 7-day cycles of deprivation, but in the consistent daily application of its principles. 1. Eat in defined windows to restore insulin sensitivity and promote metabolic flexibility. 2. Prioritize whole foods rich in protein, healthy fats, and micronutrients to honor your biology. 3. Learn to listen to your body's signals, distinguishing true hunger from hormonal habit. 4. Embrace gentle stressors like exercise and intermittent fasting as hormetic signals that tell your body to get stronger, repair, and renew. The 7-day fast reveals the ancient, resilient, and brilliant survival machine you inhabit. The lesson is to stop fighting that machine with constant food, and instead to create the space it needs to do what it was designed to do: heal itself.